you know it's what I always wanted. Could never have too many things. Well, you quit kicking me under the table. I'm trying, will somebody make us shut up about it? Can we settle down, please?
Shalom, this is your Ark. Yah is magnified, coming back with another informative video. I titled this video, Put Child Support to Bed, More Remedy. But before I tackle this subject, as always, you all must know that I'm not a lawyer, I do not practice law, and I do not pretend to. All my videos are for informational and educational purposes only. They're all facts and all truth, nothing more, nothing less. So with that being said, let's get to it. So now, I've been receiving emails from guys who's telling me that, and they have shown me some information that they have entered into the court. And all the information that they entered into the court is full with rules of federal civil procedures and all federal statutes and codes. It has nothing to do with the state or the state that they're in. So they get into these courts, and next thing you know, they like the judge not listening to them. The judge not letting them file their papers and all this other nonsense. But I'm like, I see why, because majority of stuff y'all arguing has nothing to do with anything. You're going in there arguing federal rules in state court. What type of nonsense is that? You have a whole document filled with federal laws and statutes, but you have no state laws or state statutes on your documents at all. Only thing you have is federal, which doesn't have jurisdiction in the state courts. Just like state law don't have jurisdiction in the federal courts. They are two separate jurisdictions. That's why when you try to file a federal lawsuit in court, they'll tell you, relax subject matter jurisdiction. Why? Because it's a state issue, not a federal issue. It's two separate jurisdictions. Okay? So, but not only that, they also say that they filed writs of habeas corpus in the court and get laughed out the court. I'm like, yeah, because the writ of habeas corpus is for the body, which means to release the body, which is the corpse. Okay? That's why it's called a habeas corpus, to release the body, which is the dead legal entity, the 14th Amendment slave. But they'll have you going into the court claiming to be that 14th Amendment slave voluntarily, and next thing you know, you're trapped. Okay? But I have information that I want to share with you all, because as I stated before, child support is a third-party debt collector. They're no different than any other third-party debt collector. Matter of fact, there's no different than any other debt collector. They're collecting a debt. And that's all they're doing is collecting a debt. Okay? They move on presumptions, and because they move on presumptions, you receive a mail and a document. You receive mail, on a document which has your name on it or a name that's similar to your name, and you assume that they're talking to you. So because you assume that they're talking to you, you just made their presumption fact. Okay? But they're only presuming. But because you don't know nobody, you go in there and say you are that name. Next thing you know, boom, they got you. It's that simple. That's how they get you. A presumption becomes a fact. Once you assume that it is a fact, you gave that presumption validity. Okay? You must respond back to any correspondence, man. Don't let these people send you, don't let these people send you correspondence and you don't respond back to them. Okay? Because your non-response stands as truth. That you make their whole presumption true again. Why? Because you simply did not respond back. So now I also have a lot of guys coming to me who are in default. Why? Because they didn't respond back to the presentments and they didn't appear at the court. So the judge made a default ruling against them. So now the first thing they ask me is what to do next. I say I got to get you out of this default situation first before we can proceed any further. You got to vacate that order. And that's how we move with that situation. But not only that though, as I stated earlier, The same guys who coming up to me now have entered a lot of paperwork in, and it's all federal rules and civil procedures, and all federal codes and statutes, and it's putting them in deeper binds. So then when they get into the court, next thing you know, the judge is going off every old document that they entered in and not trying to pay attention to any new documents that we entered in. Why? Because they know they got them trapped with the old documents, the documents that they received from someone else. That's why I tell you all, be careful where you get your documents from, because the person who claimed that they helped you are really putting you in a deeper bind that you can't get out of, or you can get out of, but it's going to be harder for you to get out of, because the fact of the matter is you got to undo all that nonsense that they put you in from the beginning. Okay? So, I have a video that I want to share with you all again. It's for any debt collector. Any debt collector. This can go for anything. Child support, mortgage, credit card, car loans, whatever. It's for any type of debt collector. Put them all to bed. But since I'm dealing with child support, we're going to put child support to bed. So let's get more remedy. Let's listen to this. And I'll be back when it's over with.
Everybody must do this 3-step process. This is what you didn't know about. Let me give you a quick, brief overview of why everybody must do this 3-step process. This is what you didn't know about. Anyways, it's a 3-step process, folks. It stops all third-party parties dead cold, and the third party is the one trying to trick you into going to do business with them. So they figure you didn't know, so they'll move forward aggressively, sending you correspondence, acting like they're collecting on behalf of the original creditor, folks. They're never, ever collecting on behalf of the original creditor. The original creditor always got paid through the insurance contract. Every stinking original creditor gets paid. Anyways, until you remove the presumption that you have no contract with these folks, they think you have a contract by your failure to reply to their offer. And that's what it is, folks. It's an offer. When they send you stuff through the mail, they're looking to get you to come play. Well, you don't have to go play. The only way you want to go play, folks, is doing these 3 steps. So once they send you an offer, you must respond with a simple counter offer of your own called verification of debt letter, folks, which we put in the red box for you, which now effectively creates your counter offer, which they must respond to, but they never will. So through our offer to fully pay upon proof of a valid claim, which they never provide, their failure to respond to your counter offer means that they have no wiggle room to move forward for failure to respond to your counter offer. So this is good for you folks. So the minute you send your counter offer, the clock stops until they verify the alleged debt, but they never do. And that's why we do 2 more steps after the fact. Anyways, we'll get to that in a second. The reason we red box your counter offer is because it makes everything you are asking on the document to settle the account by your counter offer to be non-negotiable. When I say non-negotiable, not like an instrument, but as to what you're asking. And not only that, it falls under the rules of 4, rules of 8, which you probably never heard about before, but we cover this over on privatus.me at length. We actually have the documents. We already created an administrative package that everybody can use very simply, and it really pretty much puts them to bed. Anyways, the rules of 4, the rules of 8 makes your new offer to contract to force them sort of into an untenable situation. They are operating from a position of 100% fraud, and they know it. So when they send you these mailings, they know that you don't owe anything. They know that they have no contract. But if you fail to respond and not remove the presumption, they'll move forward on you accordingly. So what happens is sometimes they'll try and drag it into court, or they'll go ahead and continue to harass you, call you. Well, once you send this first document, it stops all that, folks. Anyways, since they are operating from a position of 100% fraud, everything under the rules of 4s falls under insurance. When you defaulted on the original contract, i.e. credit card debt or whatever, they collected on the contract in full, and the debt was now fully paid under the insurance contract they had on your original contract with the original creditor. They then effectively sold the non-existent debt to a third party called a debt collector/attorney who bought the account for about 3 to 6 cents on the dollar to see if they could trick you to get in the game. This is why you must do this counter offer to remove the presumption immediately, so as to leaving no gray areas that you do not have a contract with them. They must respond, but they never do. This is their Achilles heel, folks. This is the beauty. And when you red box it, it means you are asking for a new contract. You're giving your new offer to contract, which is non-negotiable, not like an instrument, but is forcing them to answer what you are asking. Anyways, most people don't know about this technology. Most people don't have any idea that this is how that you can put them to bed.
Okay, so as you all just heard, it gets no clearer than that. It gets no simpler than that. This doesn't only work with child support. This works with all debt collectors, guys. All debt collectors, not just child support. Any debt that you have. Okay? This is some real powerful information. Some real powerful stuff that I just shared with you all. Like I said, there's a lot of people who don't know this information. I didn't make this information up. There's guys who came before me who had this understanding. Like I said, my mentor himself, he showed me this way. He showed me these methods. I'm just taking what I learned from him, studying more, and showing other people as well that they can do the exact same thing. The same thing he done for me, I'm doing for others. That's it. That's all. To try to free as many brothers as possible. Okay? So now, as I stated before, child support is a state issue who receives, like any other debt collector, an interest on collecting on the debt. Child support receives a 66% interest on $1 for collecting on alleged debt. No different than any other third-party debt collector. They will receive interest on collecting on the alleged debt. Child support is no different, man. It's all dealing with contracts. I told y'all before, the best way to get out of a contract is ushering your own contract. You get out of a contract with a contract. Okay? Make them non-negotiable. We don't negotiate around here. We do our thing, and we move forward with that. So again, I'd like to thank all my subscribers for watching. Stay out of those federal courts. There's no remedy in federal court. Okay? All courts are contractual courts. Okay? When they bring you into a court, they want to offer you to come play with them, and enter a contract with them. We don't enter contracts with anything. The whole thing is to remove yourself from these contracts. Don't enter into no contracts with them. And rebut all presumptions. So again, with that being said, if you all need my help, beating down the agency, putting them to bed, then hit me up at yahismagnified@gmail.com. Hit me up. Get that remedy, man. We fighting. I should have more testimonies coming soon. Keep your eyes open for that. I got more videos coming, more powerful information coming. So with that being said, you all be blessed. Shalom.